By the time most people reach their mid-60s, something very important has already changed inside their body, often without them realizing it. Blood flow to the brain has dropped by nearly 20%. Blood flow to the eyes has declined even more. That's not an opinion. That's documented physiology. And when circulation slows, neurons don't fire as sharply. The retina doesn't repair itself as efficiently. You may notice it as small things at first: forgetting names, needing brighter light to read, waking up feeling foggy, as if your brain never fully rested overnight. Most people are told this is just aging. But here's the truth many seniors are never told. This kind of decline is not random, and it is not inevitable. Your brain and your eyes do not shut down when you sleep. In fact, nighttime is when they work the hardest. While you rest, your brain clears metabolic waste, repairs neural connections, and restores signaling pathways. Your eyes regenerate light-sensing cells and recalibrate vision for the next day. But there's one critical requirement. They can't repair themselves without the right raw materials. And those materials don't come from prescriptions or expensive supplements. In many cases, they come from something far simpler: the right foods eaten at the right time. Today, I'm going to show you 4 dried fruits that research suggests can support brain circulation, memory pathways, and retinal health overnight while you sleep. These are foods many seniors already have at home, yet almost no one uses them intentionally for nighttime repair. Each one is backed by science. Each one works gently, not aggressively. And each one supports the brain and the eyes in ways that align with how the aging body actually functions. If you're over 60 and serious about staying mentally sharp, seeing clearly, and waking up with a calmer, clearer mind, stay with me. This may be one of the simplest, yet most meaningful, nightly habits you ever adopt. Let's begin with the first dried fruit, one that has been supporting brain health since ancient times, long before modern medicine gave it a name. Dried fruit number 1, figs, brain protection and retinal support. Figs may look simple, but from a nutritional and physiological perspective, they are surprisingly well suited to the needs of the aging brain and eyes, especially at night. Dried figs contain a combination of polyphenol, magnesium, potassium, and soluble fiber that support circulation and reduce oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is one of the primary drivers of age-related cognitive decline and retinal damage, because brain cells and retinal cells consume large amounts of oxygen and are particularly vulnerable to free radical injury. Research published in the Journal of Food Biochemistry has shown that fig extracts can increase the activity of the body's own antioxidant defenses, including glutathione and superoxide dismutase. These are enzymes the brain relies on to neutralize oxidative damage that accumulates during normal metabolism, especially in older adults. Why does this matter for memory? As we age, oxidative stress interferes with how neurons communicate with each other. This weakens synaptic signaling, the process that allows the brain to store and retrieve information. Animal studies published in Nutritional Neuroscience have shown that diets enriched with figs were associated with improved synaptic function and better performance on memory-related tasks compared with control diets. While animal data does not replace human trials, it provides a biologically plausible mechanism for how figs may support cognitive resilience. Figs are also relevant for eye health. The retina is one of the most metabolically active tissues in the body. Even during sleep, retinal cells are repairing light-sensitive structures and maintaining blood supply to the optic nerve. Figs provide polyphenol and trace minerals that support microcirculation, the small blood vessels that deliver oxygen and nutrients to retinal tissue. Clinical reviews in journals focused on medicinal plants and nutrition have noted that fig compounds may help maintain blood vessel elasticity and reduce glycation, a process in which excess sugar binds to proteins and damages tissues. Glycation is a known contributor to both blurred vision and vascular stiffness in older adults. Another important detail is how figs affect blood sugar at night. Dried figs do contain natural sugars, but they are packaged with fiber and minerals that slow absorption. When eaten in small amounts, especially when paired with protein or healthy fat. They provide a stable source of glucose. This is important because the brain relies almost exclusively on glucose during sleep to power waste clearance and repair processes, but sharp sugar spikes can disrupt sleep and increase inflammation. How to use figs safely and effectively. For most seniors, 2 dried figs are sufficient. Choose organic, unsulfured figs when possible. Eat them about 45 to 60 minutes before bedtime, either alone or paired with a few almonds, seeds, or a small piece of cheese to slow sugar absorption. Avoid fig jams, candies, or sweetened fig products. These lack fiber balance and do not provide the same physiological benefits. Used this way, figs don't act as a stimulant or a quick fix. Instead, they quietly support the brain's natural overnight maintenance systems, helping neurons defend themselves, circulation remain flexible, and retinal tissue receive steady nourishment during sleep. Next, we'll move to dried fruit number 2, which plays a particularly important role in protecting retinal cells and supporting blood flow to both the brain and the eyes. And it's something almost everyone already has in their kitchen. Dried fruit number 2, raisins, retinal protection, and cerebral blood flow support. Raisins are often overlooked because they seem ordinary, but nutritionally, they are one of the most concentrated sources of protective plant compounds for the aging brain and eyes, especially when eaten in small amounts before sleep. When grapes are dried into raisins, their polyphenol become concentrated. This includes compounds such as quercetin and resveratrol, which are well studied for their antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. These compounds are particularly relevant to the retina and the brain because both tissues are highly sensitive to oxidative stress. During sleep, the retina undergoes active repair. Photoreceptor cells regenerate components needed for light detection, and retinal blood vessels regulate oxygen delivery. Research published in the Journal of Functional Foods has shown that darker varieties of raisins contain higher levels of polyphenol that help reduce oxidative damage and inflammation in small blood vessels, including those supplying the eyes. Why does this matter after 60? One of the quiet drivers of age-related vision decline is chronic microinflammation in retinal capillaries. This does not cause sudden blindness, but over time it reduces nutrient delivery and impairs contrast sensitivity, night vision, and visual clarity. Antioxidant compounds in raisins help counter this process by protecting endothelial cells, the lining of blood vessels. Raisins also provide iron and boron, 2 trace minerals that support oxygen delivery and cellular metabolism. A review in the journal Nutrients noted that adequate iron availability is important for mitochondrial energy production in retinal pigment epithelial cells, which are essential for maintaining visual sharpness and color contrast. The benefits are not limited to vision. Resveratrol, which is present in higher amounts in dark raisins, has been studied for its effects on the aging brain. Research in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience has linked resveratrol intake with improved cerebral blood flow and reduced markers of neuroinflammation in older adults. Better blood flow supports memory centers such as the hippocampus, which often become less efficient with age. Another important advantage of raisins is how they provide energy at night. Although raisins contain natural sugars, they are delivered in a fiber-containing matrix, which slows absorption. When eaten in small portions and paired with fat or protein, raisins can provide a steady supply of glucose without sharp blood sugar spikes. This is important because the brain continues to consume glucose during sleep to power repair and waste-clearing processes. How to use raisins safely and effectively. A small amount goes a long way. For most seniors, 1 tablespoon of raisins is sufficient. Eat them about 30 to 45 minutes before bedtime. Choose plain, unsweetened raisins with no added oils or preservatives. Darker varieties tend to contain higher levels of beneficial polyphenol. For better blood sugar control, pair raisins with a few nuts, seeds, or a spoon of yogurt. This slows digestion and supports more stable overnight energy availability. Used this way, raisins act not as a sugary snack, but as a targeted source of antioxidant support, helping protect delicate retinal tissue, maintain cerebral circulation, and support clearer vision and mental sharpness over time. Dried fruit number 3, dates, memory support, and night vision fuel. Dates are often thought of as a comfort food, but nutritionally, they play a very specific and useful role for the aging brain and eyes, especially during sleep. As we grow older, one of the earliest cognitive changes is a decline in acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter essential for memory formation, attention, and mental clarity. Lower acetylcholine levels are associated with slower thinking, difficulty recalling names, and losing track of familiar tasks. Supporting this system gently is one of the most effective ways to preserve cognitive function with age. Dates provide a combination of natural glucose, potassium, polyphenol, and soluble fibers, which together support neurotransmitter activity and brain energy metabolism. Unlike refined sugars, the glucose in dates is released more gradually when eaten in small amounts and paired with protein or fat. This matters because the brain relies heavily on glucose during sleep to power memory consolidation and neural repair. Animal research published in Neuroregeneration Research has shown that diets enriched with date fruit were associated with improved memory performance and higher acetylcholine levels in aging models exposed to oxidative stress. While animal studies cannot be directly translated to humans, they help explain a plausible mechanism by which dates may support memory pathways in older adults. Dates also provide polyphenol that help reduce inflammation in the hippocampus, the brain's primary memory center. Reviews in nutrition-focused journals have noted that these compounds may help protect neurons from inflammatory stress and protein accumulation, processes that become more pronounced with age. The benefits extend to vision as well. Dates contain vitamin A precursors and carotenoids, which are required for the regeneration of rhodopsin, the light-sensitive pigment in retinal rod cells. Rhodopsin is essential for seeing in low-light conditions. With age, its regeneration slows, which is why many seniors struggle with glare, dim lighting, or night driving. Providing adequate vitamin A support helps maintain this visual cycle. Another advantage of dates is their potassium content, which supports blood flow and nerve signaling. Proper potassium balance is important for maintaining healthy electrical activity in both neurons and retinal cells. How to use dates safely and effectively. Moderation is essential. For most seniors, 1 to 2 plain dates are sufficient. Medjool dates are commonly used, but any unsweetened, uncoated variety is acceptable. Eat them about 45 to 60 minutes before bedtime. To slow sugar absorption and improve nutrient utilization, pair dates with a small amount of protein or fat, such as a few pumpkin seeds, almonds, or a spoon of yogurt. This helps provide steady overnight energy without disrupting sleep or blood sugar balance. Dates are not a treatment, and they are not a cure. Their value lies in consistent, small-dose support, gently fueling the brain's memory circuits and the eye's visual pigments during the body's natural overnight repair window. Next, we'll move to dried fruit number 4, which plays a crucial role in protecting the blood-brain barrier and blood-retinal barrier, two systems that quietly weaken with age but are essential for long-term cognitive and visual health. Dried fruit number 4, dried apricots, barrier protection for brain and eyes. As we age, one of the most overlooked changes in the body is the gradual weakening of the protective barriers that shield the brain and the eyes. Your brain is protected by the blood-brain barrier, and your eyes by the blood-retinal barrier. These barriers act like intelligent filters, allowing nutrients and oxygen to pass through while blocking toxins, inflammatory molecules, and harmful proteins. After the age of 60, these barriers naturally become more permeable, which increases the risk of cognitive fog, inflammation, and vision decline. Dried apricots are particularly valuable here because they are one of the richest natural sources of beta-carotene, a precursor to vitamin A. Vitamin A is essential for maintaining the structural integrity of both the blood-brain and blood-retinal barriers. Research published in Molecular Nutrition and Food Research has shown that beta-carotene and related carotenoids help reduce barrier permeability by limiting inflammatory signaling and oxidative damage in endothelial cells, the cells that line blood vessels in the brain. When these cells remain healthy, fewer harmful substances cross into neural tissue. This has direct implications for cognitive health. Reduced barrier leakage means less exposure of brain tissue to inflammatory cytokines and oxidative stress. Over time, this supports better neuronal resilience, clearer thinking, and slower progression of age-related cognitive decline. The eyes benefit in a similar way. The retina is essentially an extension of the brain, and it relies heavily on vitamin A to maintain photoreceptor function and barrier strength. Reviews in ophthalmology journals have confirmed that adequate intake of vitamin A and carotenoids such as beta-carotene, lutein, and zeaxanthin helps reduce the risk of macular degeneration and supports long-term retinal health. Dried apricots also provide vitamin E, iron, and copper, which work together to support oxygen delivery and energy production in retinal ganglion cells. These cells are critical for contrast sensitivity, sharpness, and visual signal transmission to the brain. Another important feature of dried apricots is their content of chlorogenic acid, a polyphenol that supports glucose metabolism in the brain. This allows neurons to remain fueled overnight without triggering sharp blood sugar spikes, which can otherwise interfere with sleep and increase inflammation. How to use dried apricots safely and effectively. For most seniors, 2 to 3 dried apricots are sufficient. Choose organic, unsulfured varieties whenever possible, as sulfur dioxide can irritate the digestive tract in sensitive individuals. Eat them about 45 to 60 minutes before bedtime. To improve absorption of fat-soluble nutrients like beta-carotene, pair apricots with a small amount of healthy fat, such as a teaspoon of almond butter, a few sunflower seeds, or a handful of nuts. Used consistently and in moderation, dried apricots help reinforce the body's natural protective barriers, supporting both brain clarity and visual stability during the overnight repair phase. The nightly rotation plan, a simple habit that supports overnight repair. The most important thing to understand is this: you do not need to eat all 4 dried fruits every night. In fact, rotating them works better for digestion, blood sugar balance, and long-term consistency. The goal is not quantity. The goal is regular, gentle support during the body's natural overnight repair window. Number 1. How the rotation works. Each evening, choose 1 or 2 of the dried fruits we've discussed. Rotate them across the week so your brain and eyes receive a broader range of nutrients without overload. For example, one night, figs and raisins. Another night, dates and apricots. Another night, just figs or just apricots. This variety prevents digestive fatigue and ensures you're not relying too heavily on one type of natural sugar or micronutrient. Number 2. Portion guidelines. Very important. Small amounts are enough to trigger the desired effect. Figs, 2 pieces. Raisins, 1 tablespoon. Dates, 1 to 2 pieces. Dried apricots, 2 to 3 pieces. More is not better. Excess portions can disrupt blood sugar and sleep, especially after 60. Number 3. Always pair with protein or healthy fat. Dried fruits should not be eaten alone at night. Pairing them with a small amount of protein or fat slows sugar absorption and improves nutrient delivery to the brain and eyes. Good pairing options include a few almonds or walnuts, a spoon of nut butter, pumpkin or sunflower seeds, a small piece of cheese or yogurt. This pairing helps prevent nighttime blood sugar dips that can cause restlessness or early waking. Number 4. Timing matters. Eat your chosen combination 45 to 60 minutes before bedtime. This allows digestion to begin without interfering with sleep onset, while still providing nutrients during the early stages of overnight repair. If you tend to wake up with a dry mouth or mild thirst, drink a small glass of water with your snack. Avoid large amounts of fluid late at night, as this may disrupt sleep. Number 5. The 7-day trial. Try this routine for 7 nights in a row. During that week, pay attention to subtle changes. Morning mental clarity. Ease of focusing. How quickly your eyes adjust to light. Calmness upon waking. For many seniors, the improvements are gradual but noticeable, not dramatic overnight changes, but a steady return of clarity and comfort. This plan isn't about forcing the body to change. It's about supporting the systems that are already working to repair you while you sleep. Final conclusion. Your brain and eyes are still capable of repair. If there's one message to take away from today, it's this. Age does not turn off your body's ability to heal. Even after 60, your brain and your eyes are still working every night to repair tissue, clear metabolic waste, and restore function. What changes with age is not the desire to heal, but the availability of the nutrients required to do that work effectively. The dried fruits we discussed today, figs, raisins, dates, and apricots, are not cures and they are not magic. Their value lies in something much more realistic. They provide targeted, biologically relevant support during the body's most important recovery window, sleep. By using them in small amounts, rotating them thoughtfully, and pairing them with protein or healthy fats, you give your brain steady fuel for memory consolidation and your eyes the nutrients they need to maintain clarity and resilience. What matters most is consistency, not perfection. A simple evening ritual, a small, intentional snack, eaten calmly before bed, sends a powerful signal to your nervous system that it's time to rest and repair. Over time, these signals add up. Many seniors notice clearer thinking in the morning, steadier vision, and a greater sense of calm as the days pass. A gentle invitation. Tonight, don't try to change everything. Choose just 1 or 2 dried fruits. Eat them slowly, pair them wisely, and let your body do the rest. If this video helped you understand your brain and vision a little better, please give it a like so we know to create more content like this. We'd also love to hear from you. Which dried fruit are you going to try first? Have you noticed changes in memory or vision as you've aged? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your experience may help someone else feel less alone on this journey. And if you're here to protect your clarity, independence, and confidence as you age, consider subscribing to Ageless Vitality. We're here to guide you with calm, science-based habits that support a strong mind, clear vision, and a healthier life, one thoughtful step at a time. Take good care of yourself. Sleep well tonight, and we'll see you in the next video.